24 years old, about to be, 23, about to be 24, and still single, and why I believe so, and why I believe I'm still kind of in this situation. When it comes to me, I won't lie, when it comes to relationships, it's not really always gone my way. Because of, let's be honest, I want to say I picked the wrong people, but most of the time, people I pick ends up just not working out majority of the time. Like last person I dated, it didn't really last more than a week because I could kind of tell that they were not really interested, and the more I kind of tried to give time to the person or try to spend time with the person, they kind of just showed that they didn't really care as much in general. And most of the time, I can tell, most of them I can kind of tell that people nowadays don't really date the way I kind of feel like I wish dating went the way in general. The way I feel like I wish dating went. Cause like for me, I kind of grew up on movies, involved like love movies, romantic movies and stuff like that in general, which kind of, I won't lie, it does kind of put me in a little bit of a fairy tale, kind of where like I grew up watching stuff like Andrew Griffin's show, stuff like that is where like kind of put me in the mindset of I kind of want somebody that I can date long term and have it go amazing that I can kind of give the world to. Most of the time now, that mentality is not really, it's not really it doesn't really exist anymore. And most of the time now, it's less about dating is less about like generally liking somebody, and it's more based on about playing a game or playing this and that and playing that, which let's be honest, I'm not good at. I don't really want to do because I feel like most of the time it just leads with you trying to make yourself become something that you're not itself. And most of the time it does not work for me. It's worked for me before to where like I've kind of played the this kind of guy and it worked. But most of the time it ends up backfiring because once I start like generally caring about the person, like treating them like they matter, they pull away, and I can tell that that's not what they wanted. So most of the time it ends up with just them just kind of like abandoning or just leaving. Me trying to be genuine kind of scares them away than me playing some type of game, which I don't like playing because I'm not good at it. And even when I do play it good and I'm kind of good at it, I could tell that it's not me in general. But at the same time, too, I cannot just also blame that because let's be honest, if you're missing multiple times, most of the time, the problem itself is you. And for me, when it comes to that aspect of it, I'm gonna say probably one of the two things. One is it that I'm ugly as well, which but I'm ugly as well. I understand. I can't change that much. I've tried. I generally understand that I'm ugly as shit. Two, I'm 23 years old and I'm about to be 24 and I look like I'm 35, 37 years old, bro. Which is not really up in my case. I look older than I am, and most of the people that I seem to like or get attracted to seem to not like me that exact way. Or we start talking, flirting, and midway of us talking, I kind of, like, let's be honest. I'm just gonna go with this. When it comes to me, I'm gonna say one thing. I'm that person where like I like to be liked, and I don't like offending people because of we're in a different society nowadays where people easily get offended, and I'm not trying to offend nobody. I don't want no enemies, and if I generally care about you, like generally care about you, I'm going to that person where like I pay attention to everything, like looking at your body movements, looking at the way you're reacting to stuff. So I kind of feel like a joke does not land, or I feel like something I'm gonna say is might offend you because I don't fully know you yet. It's gonna be odd for me to kind of just be freely open with you or make jokes around you because I'm afraid of messing up what it could be. And by doing that itself, I kind of mess it up because of I kind of get closed off. And me being closed off itself, it scares the person away, or it just kind of makes it awkward to where they themselves leave their own self. Because don't get me wrong, there's times when like people that I like and we joke, we flirt, and then it gets kind of awkward because I want to say something, I want to say this or say that, but then I think about it. Cause I am an overthinker. I would not lie about that part. I am an overthinker. Everything I say, everything I do overthink it, and I always think about how it's gonna go wrong if I say this or say that. So that does not help my case to itself in general. And two, I can kind of tell like to a decent amount I am not attractive at all, which I am. Hey, I understand. I generally understand that I'm ugly, which is gonna make me times 10 harder for me to find somebody. Ironically, I'm somebody that also people I've helped a lot of people with their relationships and relationship advice. But when it comes to me, my relationship is extremely terrible. Cause like I know what to do to make a relationship work, but at the exact same time, my thoughts might be outdated because I kind of base my stuff on what I feel like a normal relationship should be, or what you should like how we should treat somebody, which nowadays is more about shooting game or doing this or making sure you like the person that you like, you don't like them more than they like you. And like I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not trying to do all that shit, bro. I'm not trying to do all that shit, bro. In general. And now with all the dating apps and stuff, which I have learned generally from Tinder and other apps that I am too ugly for those apps, bro. Let's be honest, bro. Too ugly for those apps. I've kind of learned that when it comes to me. But I feel like that has to be with when it comes to it, when it comes to me. One of the main reasons why I just can't date anybody, and also for the fact of just cannot fully open up to somebody because I'm afraid of what my jokes or what I might say might slowly scare them off. And at this point, I want to say I'm not to be dramatic, but might be destined to die alone. Which, hey, if that is true, I understand it, man. I get it. We're not all meant to meet somebody. Which I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna say like I'm desperate, but it would be fun. For example, I live with myself. I chill with myself. In general, most of the time I'm by myself because most of the time I'm not the best with friends. Like I got friends, but I'm closed off to where like I like my personal time more than any time. Like I'm the type of person when you call me on Tuesday, I'm gonna get back to you next week because I like my personal space. And the only time I really go out of my personal space is for when I generally attracted to somebody and I'm kind of like I would give them time. And most of the time it still ends up being awkward because I'm still afraid of what to say because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Because let's be honest, I make dumb jokes, bro. I make some of the most dumbest jokes where like if it's somebody that probably gets easily sensitive, I'm not gonna lie to you. It might offend you. And that's my biggest fear. I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable or make them not like them not understand that there's a difference between like me just making a dumb joke and it being generally serious. And that's just me to a decent amount, which at the same time I can be understand because nowadays stuff is a lot more different and I still like doing like the normal romantic stuff because it's what I grew up mostly seeing. What I mostly grew up seeing and what I kind of feel is a genuine way to approach somebody. But most of the stuff nowadays is seen as corny as shit. And if they're not seen as corny, some people just think that you're doing it because you want this, or want this, that. And sometimes you can just be doing it genuinely because you like the person. Which I've kind of learned that I gotta step back from doing that. And most of the time, too, people are gonna use you. A lot of the time, people are gonna use you if they think you care about them, and they know you care about them. Even if they don't like you, they will still try to use you, and they will use you. And that's one of the main things for in general. A lot of relationships I've been in, a lot of similar relationships I've been in, I've kind of realized that it's a lot more harder to find someone that is genuine, someone that genuinely cares. And two, back to the same thing I said before, I'm ugly. So I kind of know to a decent amount. Let me be honest. I kind of know when somebody is semi using me because of, let's say I'm ugly. So I know if like somebody is like extremely attractive or bad as I was like approaching me, I'm like, yeah, nah, bro. They're not yet genuinely, bro. Like if Zendaya comes to me, bro, like I know Zendaya is not yet for me. Let's be honest. I know my back it on the level, bro. I'm not gonna be the guy that's gonna be like, oh my gosh, yeah, bro. I'm a 10, bro. I'm probably like a 3.4, which, hey, I understand that. People skills wise, I would say I'm funny. Once you get to know me, that means once I know that I can tell. Like, I feel like once I break out of my shell, once I get to know you to where I feel like I can generally like talk to you, I know, joke with you, you're not gonna get offended. Like, you're gonna actually like just understand my joking habits and just the way I make dumb jokes, and you kind of generally get me. I feel like when I get to that level, I can bond with somebody and it's gonna be strong as well. But until I feel like I can, like, I have to kind of figure you out, because I do not want. I don't know. My main thing too is just that I do not like making people be offended, because it's not. It's looking at somebody, joking with them, wanting to know if they're interested or not being able to approach it, being afraid that they might shut you down in a extremely bad way, or approaching them and then they're like, oh no, and they put you in that friend zone. Is like, oh my gosh, for a guy that's like kryptonite. Oh, the worst one of all. Texting for days and weeks and shares, and then out of nowhere, just random block. Which that one probably is the most painful one, because you're like, what did I do? I think the worst one was one where I was talking to somebody for like an entire year, out of nowhere just got blocked. Out of nowhere just got blocked. Which is like, that was a good waste of my time. But that one, I'm pretty sure that one was just more of like somebody just using me. Because, as I said before, I know when I'm being used, because of I've kind of learned that I'm not the most attractive person, or I don't have the most greatest charm, and I'm not the most fuckboy of all time. And I'm just me. And I'm kind of boring. Let's be honest. To a decent amount, I'm kind of boring. Let's be honest in general. And even when I'm texting, bro, I text probably extremely boring, due to the fact that, as I said before, if I don't fully know you, I'm not trying to offend you. And if I'm not trying to offend you, I tiptoe between what I want to say and say probably like the most generic stuff, because I'm afraid that if I say a joke that you find too sensitive or might offend you, because we are in a sensitive ass society right now, I'm afraid of either making you feel bad or coming off as a dick. Coming off too cocky. Because there are times when I've approached it a little bit cocky, and I don't really know how the vibe is going. I would say I'm probably like one of the worst people at reading when it comes to like reading situations. I would say that in general. To where it'll make me extremely overthink. Because when it comes to me, let me tell you one thing. I am an overthinker, bro. I overthink everything. Everything I overthink. And most of the time, my mind is thinking about how it's going bad, or how I messed this up, or how I did that, or I did that. So that to itself does not make it better for me, you know. And I will kind of say probably some relationships I've kind of rushed into it, or I've kind of fell for the person a little bit too fast, and that itself too can make them kind of back away. Because as I said before, most relationships nowadays, people kind of want you to care, but not care too much, which is just kind of like, it's kind of exhausting to a decent amount. That's what I can say. But at the exact same time, I guess I could say I kind of understand it. I mean, it's just 2026 and dating. And two, I just feel like when it comes to me right now, mostly with my looks, there's not really anybody for me out there. Let me know if you relate with this and tell me what you think. And I'll be willing to read your thoughts. If you're gonna roast me, hey, go for me and roast me, man. I can assure you, whatever you tell me, I probably have heard the worst either way. So go for it in general, man. I can assure you, I probably hear the worst. And just to leave you off on a good on my shitty stuff right now. For example, just came back from the movies right now. Went to the movies to go see a movie with my sister and shit. Going to an Uber. This girl looking nice as hell. Nice as hell. Taking the Uber, talking to her, conversating, drops me off. I'm like, can I get your number? She's like, don't really give up my number. One thing too I'm gonna say about me is I do not push it. I'm not one of those people that'll be like, oh, they're gonna try like, nah, you do this, do that. Once you say no, hey, I'm not catching a case. I'm skedaddling, bro. Once you say no or you say I'm gonna give up my number, I'm not gonna push more than that, and I'm gonna just go. In general, I know some guys like they have the mentality of like, nah, it's just playing all to get, bro. I'm good, bro. I'm not trying to figure out if that's true or not, because I'm not trying to catch a case, and I'm not. Worst things, one of the worst things that I ate, I'm never trying to have on my name is, I'm not trying to be called a creep. Being called a creep, I don't want that label, bro. Y'all can keep that label. I'm good on that one. That's one of my biggest fears too. Being called a creep or making a female feel uncomfortable. No. No. If I ever make somebody feel like that, most of the time if I feel like I made you feel uncomfortable, I'm probably gonna block you. I'm probably gonna stay far away from you just so I can kind of keep myself far away from you so that I don't ever make you feel like that again. I'm gonna leave you on that note. Tell me what you think, and I'll be reading your comments if you do watch this. I don't know who's gonna watch this though, but if you do watch this and you do relate to it, let me know. And let me know if I'm screwed and if I should just, hey, I mean, I kind of know I'm destined to die alone, but let me know. Tell me what you think. I'm kind of curious to see if anybody actually leaves any thoughts or anything in the comments, or if anybody actually watches this. But yeah, thank you for listening to my sob story, and peace out.